Yes, blessed love, people, blessed love. 69 in the room already, and I haven't even started. Welcome once again to your regular Friday night. It's Afua Rose Speaks with Community Conversations. And as usual, we're going to wait for the community to gather, and I'm going to wait for my moderators to join the room as well, because I do believe we're going to... I do believe we're going to need them tonight. But you know what? Even if a moderator doesn't turn up, I know that my wonderful, wonderful, beloved, his time is up family is in the room, and they will take care of business. So yes, my brothers and sisters, can wait. Yes, let's wait. Let's wait and gather. Let's wait and gather. And yes, we've got one moderator in the room. Blessed love, Lioness Keeks. Blessed love. So one is better than none, and we'll start anyway. Wow. Tonight it's filling up real fast, bums on seats, as they say in the theatre business. But yes, my brothers and sisters, got a few little updates from last week to kind of go through. One update actually from last week to go through. Again, I was hoping to have some updates with regard to Peter Bailey, but as usual, the police are dragging their feet, and they still haven't completed what it is that we expected them to complete at this stage. So let's hope and pray that they do that quite quickly. And as soon as I know, you guys will know. But that is an ongoing investigation. That is definitely going through. And that's as much as I can say at the moment. There are mitigating circumstances and sort of different barriers as to why they haven't sort of brought it to the next stage, but that's going to happen. We'll be having updates real soon as well with some of the others that we've spoken about on this platform. But I just wanted to kind of address the NW10 issue from last week, first and foremost. Well, go on, Double D. First and foremost, if you guys remember from last week, I called out a particular individual from the NW10 area, who's taken big issue to all of these things. This is what makes me laugh about these issues, these people, is that they know what they've done. They're very aware of what they've done, and the way that they go about trying to cover their tracks or sending in their troops to cover their tracks is always really interesting, because it follows a real trajectory. It follows a pattern that I've become aware of, So anyway, he's no different. You know what you did, and we are going to do a full expose on you when the time is right. And yes, your cases will be going to the police. That's in process. And you know who you are. You know you, Mr. Sam from NW10. You know you used to take those girls up to the 7th floor of your flat in Kilburn, in South Kilburn. You know you did these things. You know you did. So that's all I'm going to say at the moment. I just wanted to kind of say that to him personally, because he's definitely in the bushes. They always are. And and then we're going to really get into what the main topic of tonight is. And that is, you guys might have seen my Instagram post earlier on this morning. It's created quite a storm. It always does when it's particular individuals from the Brixton community. Always creates a storm. And individuals that are connected, which we're going to go on to explore as well. So, that individual is called is called Tony Clark. And it is alleged, of course it's alleged because we haven't had a trial yet, but at the end of the day, this platform, we choose to believe the the victims. Why do we believe the victims? Because we don't just believe people willy-nilly. We don't allow people to just come on the platform, talk a lot of rubbish about people, make wild and false accusations and expect that to be highlighted and platformed. That is not the process. The process is an arduous task of examination, and it's quite forensic in the way that I do it, and it's always an investigation. You guys all know about the power of three by now. You guys all know about the power of three by now, and that's how we work when it comes on to victim statements. I would always encourage victims to go to the police. We've been doing that. Unfortunately, for those of you that follow the platform, you know full and well that the police are at best inept and at worst corrupt in these cases, particularly in these cases, actually, and particularly when it comes onto the Black community. We're all aware of this. We all know what the issues are. Let's not make any bones about it. So that's what the issue is. Now, this individual, Tony Clark, who is alleged to have confessed, how you doing, Empress Toya? Always pleased to see you, my sister. Is alleged to have confessed to several people, not just one person, several people over a period of time. Actually, before I get into that part of it, I just want to kind of give you a bit of background about that individual. So this individual runs or used to run care homes along with his sister and his mother. Now, they used to run care homes. They had several sites. You had Bordeaux Gardens, Brixton Hill, Elm Park, I believe, and Vassal House, which was kind of the main or central part of their operation. Okay, so they used to run care homes in Lambeth. Yes, Lambeth. Very, very, in fact, one of the care homes was on the same road as the Cadoggans, who we've spoken about in the past, right? So it's on the same road as the Cadoggans, one of these care homes. By all accounts, apparently they knew each other and were quite tight. I mean, even if they never knew each other before, you're going to be one of the very few Black people running care homes in the area at that time, receiving money for receiving children from Lambeth on the same road. You're probably going to get to know each other, aren't you? So, I mean, that's just supposition, but at the end of the day, it's kind of logic that you might. So they knew each other. I've also had it through sources that Tony Clark himself is also familiar with the one Vincent Rat. It just never ceased to amaze me, my brothers and sisters, how it is that when it comes to the more serious offences that have been taking place historically within Lambeth, and those allegations, when it comes on to those that were involved in the care system or running care homes or whatever, it seems that all roads seem to lead back to Vincent Rat. I just find that, I find that really intriguing. Let's just say that, very intriguing. In any event, he used to run care homes along with his mother and his sister in the Streatham area and so on, and Brixton Hill. Now, it's alleged that this person likes a drink. It's also alleged that he takes harder drugs, but he certainly smokes weed, according to some people. And in his later years, in more recent times, blessing sister SP there, love you lots. In more recent times, he has been quite loose. You know, in a little bit like how we saw what happened with Kwaku when it came onto LB. When it came onto LB, the way that nobody asked him, nobody mentioned his name, nobody asked him to come into the narrative, but yet through his own loose lips and his own foolishness, he ended up bagging himself. So it's kind of the same thing that it's reported that this person has done to several people, not just one person, several people, that he has been intoxicated on occasion. And on those occasions, you know, people say, oh, you know, I was drunk, I didn't mean it. No, alcohol loosens the lips and brings the truth. That's what alcohol does. It enables you to unearth your inhibitions and speak the truth, especially of yourself. So it appears that that's what this person has been doing. And within those alleged confessions, this person has admitted during his while he was running these care homes and while these young people were in his care, he had a habit, according to him, allegedly according to him, of grooming these young women, young girls, I should say, grooming them, peeping through the bathroom while they were in the shower and getting off on that. I'm going to be quite explicit here. I'm going to be very explicit. Yes, my sister, karma is a bitch and God don't like ugly. Absolutely. So yeah, apparently he would spy on the young girls in his care, 13, 14, 15-year-old girls in the shower while they were taking their showers. And allegedly, according to this man, he has admitted to getting off on that and to masturbating while these young girls were in the shower. And further to that, he has also allegedly confessed in his drunken state that he groomed some of those girls and had sex with them. He's reported to have boasted about how easy it was and that all he needed to do was to get them a KFC or cake and custard at times and be able to palm them off with food and gifts and whatever, and sometimes by force as well. As I say, there are several individuals that approach me over quite a broad period of time. Okay, but we only work on 3. I put his picture up on Instagram about 6ish or something like that this morning. Within 2 hours of me posting that, I've been hit up by so many different people that were in the care system that is aware of this man's activities. So that's quite significant, very, very significant. And it's had a lot of attention. In fact, I had a call. Sorry, my brothers and sisters, I just need to check something. Okay. I had a call this afternoon from an individual who claimed to be the police, saying that it wasn't a complaint or anything, but they'd noticed the post and they wanted information. Now, I've never made any bones about the fact that I do liaise with Brixton Sapphire Unit. I have done, and I do. And my first and foremost priority is to ensure that these people are brought to justice. But I haven't heard from them for a while. They were very interested in Rat, not too much interested with anybody else in between, apart from 1 or 2 people separately. And all of a sudden, they're very interested all over again. So I just find that quite intriguing if that person was the police, which I'm not sure, because they wanted lots of information. I wasn't prepared to give it to them. They even tried to find out my location and suggest that I go to a police station, even if it wasn't Brixton, near me. And I asked them to send me an email on the campaign email, because that's actually the right and proper procedure. Who are you? You're calling me on a private number. I don't know who you are. Email me so that I can see your credentials, and I will take it from there. But I won't be giving any information because I'm bound by the confidentiality codes of conduct, and I won't be giving information unless there is a risk to the public or a risk of harm to the individual that is speaking to me. That's not going to happen. I told the police that. And they had to accept that because we know our stuff around here. That's right, SP. It didn't sound right. I mean, the individual actually sounded quite authentic, but when you start asking key questions and they can't really, join the dots, then you start to question. But I think, if that person was sent by the perpetrators or their naysayers and cohort, then you're going to have to wake up very, very early in the morning to try to bamboozle me. Doesn't work that way. I need to see an email. I need to check it out, as I do with everything, not just these types of calls, but also the victims who call me. We have a whole range of systems where we're able to check, if these people are connected in any way, if victims coming into the DMs are connected in any way. People can make lots of different profiles and make it look like a barrage. We are not stupid. Please don't insult our intelligence. And we're very aware as well of the impact that it has on the lives of those concerned. So the last thing that we want to do is call out the wrong people. Now, I'm not saying that the system is foolproof, But at the end of the day, it's as foolproof as I can make it. And as I say, it's very incumbent that those seeking exposure and seeking to speak their stories also go to the police. It isn't just about this platform. I've said it time and again, kept saying it, but it isn't enough for some people. I even got accused of being a hologram this week. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the comments on the last few videos. Yeah, I'm a hologram now. Apparently, I'm not real, and I'm a hologram. So this is how far it goes. This is how deep rooted the denial in our community actually is that people will go as far as saying I'm a hologram, I'm a mechatronic being, I'm not real, I've just come to suck the blood of the Black community like a viper. As I say, they always want to try and shoot the messenger. I don't know these people. If it was that, then I would know all of the people that I'm calling out. I'd have a personal vendetta against them, and I've just decided to set up this platform, right? And decide to destroy these men's lives. Yeah, me on my Jack Jones, I've just decided to do that. How preposterous. People contact me. And I'm you know, I like to think of myself as a fairly intelligent woman, a fairly discerning woman. So and somebody actually who has worked forensically for 30 odd years. I'd like to think that I do kind of know how to separate the wheat from the chaff at this stage in life. I'd like to think that I know how to do that. So, as I say, I'm not saying that my methods are absolutely foolproof. Nobody is. You know, nobody's infallible in that regard. But it's as close as it's a lot closer than the average layperson. Let's just call it that. So yes, Tony Clark. What kind of operation was being run at Vassal House and Baldry Gardens and Brixton Hill? That's the question that I want to pose tonight. What kind of operation was running? Because the alleged reports that we've had are shocking, to say the least. Shocking. I mean, aside from grooming and raping, whether that was statutory or forced, and I believe it was both. I believe, okay, as I said, it's alleged, but I believe what I believe in terms of what I've heard. You guys make up your mind for yourselves. But apart from that, the brutality of what was going on, you know, there are reports of children being beaten up by this individual because of things that they'd seen, and so on. You know, this person was caught in very compromising positions while at work, if you like, albeit that they ran this care home as a family, by young people, and those young people were actually attacked by this individual. This person was known to smoke weed on the premises, you know, and again was challenged by young people within his establishment, and those young people were attacked. Several. You know, this is not just one person. These are several individuals that have come forward. Yes, Double D, I don't know you're always on job, my brother. Always. That have come forward and stated their cases. As I said, uninvited. And actually the main, yes, LB, General, Chargy, yes, LB. Tonight, really, I just want to kind of highlight it. As I said, it's alleged, but I believe it. I believe it, as I do all victims that come forward, all victims that come forward. And we would like to know if anybody that was in the care system when Vassal House was at its peak, or when Vassal House was in operation, if you've been affected by that individual, please DM me on at Afua Rose 69 on Instagram, and we'll try to add you to the number. There will be reports going in. I think that's the best course of action. And I think those that support this individual, family, whatever they are, you know, they believe themselves to be quite litigative. But that's okay. I've been itching for a court case. I've had a few DMs today telling me, we're going to do you for defamation of character. Yeah, we've heard that all before. As I keep saying, to Rat, the perpetrator, Eamon Edwards, and these people that threaten these things, bring it to court. Because if you bring it to court in a defamation of character case, the weight of evidence then turns onto the applicant, not the respondent, really. Because you're the applicant. You have to prove, unequivocally, you have to prove that it is actually defamation. That's what you have to prove. And if that's the case, I then have to prove that it's not defamation. And in me doing that, I will not be able to hold anonymity with the victims. I won't be able to hold that. They will be subpoenaed to court, they will present their evidence, and these people will find themselves and their families to be the ones that are actually in the dock. That's what's going to happen, because there is a lot of evidence. There's a lot of witness statements. And what people seem to not understand in these cases as well is that when it comes to historic sexual abuse cases, as I keep on saying like a mantra on this platform, the weight of evidence is not material. It is not DNA. It is not eyewitness. It's not any of those things. It is corroboration and consistency. Okay. And if it's the one thing that we do have is corroboration. Okay. It's up for the police to separate the facts, and look at the more finer details of that. But there's some evidence that I've seen is just bang to rights. And rather than go with just that one case, no, we will wait until there is a cohort, because it's historic, remember? It's historic. And depending on that person's defense, if you go with just one case in these sorts of cases, chances are you're not going to get a conviction. We heard about some of the stats last week. I spoke about that. But it's not looking good for a lot of people. And when it comes on to corroboration, this case is no different. It's absolutely no different. Yeah. And what I say is, alleged or not, his time is up platform is about believing the victims. Now, we are not the judge. We are not the jury. So how much can we affect by believing the victims? This is a safe space. Okay. This is a safe space for victims of historic sexual abuse, which none of you can deny has taken place in our community in general, but particularly in the Brixton area. There was a pedophile ring operating. Why do these names keep coming up again and again and again? Why are there these interconnections between these people? And we already know that Rat was able to access and others actually was able to access these care homes and take his pick of whatever he wanted much of the time. And it's also been reported for this Vassal house as well, that allegedly these children were left to roam the streets because they'd locked the house in the daytime. What is that about? What is that about? We've heard some horrendous stories of what these young people went through. Raped in the children's home, raped in Stockwell Park Estate, because really they had nowhere else to be going, wandering around the streets of Brixton every single day when they should have been protected. And even if we don't talk about the historic sexual abuse that is alleged to have taken place at Vassal House under the care of Tony Clark, even if we don't talk about that, what about all the malpractice? What about the fact that workers brought their children to work? And that's an insurance issue for one. What about the fact that young people were brought to staff members' homes for various different reasons? What about the fact that a leaving care unit was set up on Brixton Hill or Elm Park, I think, or somewhere like that? Brixton Hill, definitely. In Tony Clark's house, a leaving care unit where the actual worker lives in, it's his house, and apparently, allegedly, pregnant young girls were put in that house while this man was living in the same house, and also boys from different care homes were living in this house as well at any one given time. There's not all at once, but at any one given time. I mean, really? Oh my God. Oh my goodness. That is malpractice. That deserves a review. That deserves an internal inquiry. And as we're in the season for that, Lambeth is definitely in the season for it. These are the things that need to come to the fore. Because when it comes onto the Shirley Oaks scandal, the Lambeth redress scheme and everything else, there's half of this story that is still to be told. Yeah? And it comes from our community, that half of the story that needs to be told. And that's why they really don't want to bring that into the narrative. That's why they tried to stop Lambeth redress for those that were in private care homes. And we've heard of two now that were privately run by people from our own community. People being brought up who were not legal in the country, legal to work, but yet they were care workers in these homes. Some of them were okay. Some of them were good at their jobs. Others were abusive. you know, even if it was through acts of omission and neglect. What the hell is going on? Why was that okay? Why was that okay? That's right. That's right, beloved. It was Greyhound Lane. There was one there too. I know about that. So I just want to know what the hell was going on. And you people that have been all over the DMs today, as usual, coming like rats, people, them, stop denying you weren't there. I think I was even contacted by his daughter, who would have been a young child at the time. How do you know? Stop your talking. You know, Jack the Ripper's wife didn't know what he was doing for years. She would have sworn blind, but yet that man was going out doing what he was doing. Ted Bundy, another great example actually of that psycho, was the toast of his town. You know, you cannot swear for what anybody does in private. As I keep saying, they're not going to do it at the Christmas party. They're not going to do it in the middle of Brixton Road, are they? They're going to do it to young, vulnerable children, screwed up teenagers, and people that are probably not going to talk until years later. And that is what we're seeing. We have scratched the scab of what is going on in our community, and it is spilling out left, right, and center. That's what I believe is happening. If there are a few liars in there and our processes have missed them, like I keep saying, I will rip them a new ass if that ever came to light. I would drag that woman or whoever's made that allegation even more through the mud than I would a perpetrator, because that type of stuff is absolutely not on. I have brothers, I have a son. Do you understand? I have cousins who I love like dearly. There's no way that I would stand by and watch an innocent brother, my brother, go down for little and nothing. It's not going to go like that. So when we say what we say it to all those perpetrators that have been preying on our young girls and our women for far too long. And it absolutely has to stop. I don't care what the family members say. They're always going to defend their family member, aren't they? And in too many cases, we've seen that not only do they defend their family member, they actually stand right by them and condemn their other family member who is the victim. That's become the norm in our community, brothers and sisters. Absolutely become the norm. That's right. They messed them up at a young age. So this individual was not running a tight ship. Was not running a tight ship. Whichever way you try to flip it, they were not running a tight ship. It is alleged. And in my opinion, I believe it. I do not believe they were running a tight ship. Whichever way you flip it, you know. I would just like to say, that, you know, it's unfortunate. I wouldn't want that to be any of my people. As everyone knows, Punro was a good friend of mine. You know, it was painful to have to hear the evidence and admit that, oh my God, this person who I knew and who I really actually thought was, yes, all about the black, you don't know, who I really, really thought was a righteous Rasta man, you know, turned out to be a raging pedophile. And that evidence there, which he doesn't know, I know, is part of police evidence, is so damning. There's no way that he could get off of that. No way. So it is painful. It is very, very painful. And it's a real, you know, your head starts to spin in so many different directions. And unfortunately, for some people, they cannot handle that level of reality. It's called cognitive dissonance, when you are so shocked that you just have to fix your perspective. You're not able to see what's being presented. It doesn't matter how much evidence is presented in front of them. Cognitive dissonance disables their brain in being able to see that. That's the simplest way I can put that. And that's what I think is going on with a lot of people, and certainly with the Tony Clark case. It's been an outpour. You know, I think there's over 200 messages going backwards and forwards with different people defending him. And as I say, one of them was a child at the time, so they wouldn't know. They just, you know, they like the person, they love the person, it's their family member, whatever. So therefore, it cannot be right. Well, I'm afraid that's not how paedophilia works. And this individual, is, by all accounts, is running around talking up the things, as they say on the road, talking up the things. I mean, you couldn't make it up, could you? You really couldn't make that up. When I first saw that, the first DM I saw about that, it was ages ago. And I thought to myself, oh, okay, interesting. Sounds like the ravings of a drunken man who probably wants a bit of attention. Paid it no mind. Second one came in a couple of months later. Thought, is there something in this? You know? And then the rest. And it's like, well, okay, there's no coincidences here. There is no coincidences here, my brothers and sisters. None whatsoever. But this individual is a nasty piece of work. You know, is he going to deny that him and his friend Kerwin was smoking weed in the back garden of Vassal House, I believe it was, or one of those care homes, smoking weed in the back garden? And when one of the young people challenged them over it, they ran to that person and tried to strangle them. A white boy. Are they going to deny that? Deny that if you dare. Deny that if you dare. Yeah? Disgusting individuals. You know what? We need to cut out this cancer in our community. And what makes me sick to my stomach, brothers and sisters, is that it's the women, it's the girlfriends, the daughters, the sisters who come out to defend these men to the hilt. You know, like they're the man's shadow, like they are with him every single step of every single day, and this man is never without them. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's our women. It's our women doing it. That's what it is. I'm ashamed. I would never claim you as a sister, never, because your interests are selfish. There's always something to gain from it. There's always some sort of status quo, whether it's a financial thing or whatever, that they want to keep in place. Whatever the motive is, they want it in place, and they don't give a pop about these victims, their supposed sisters. So where is the sisterhood then? Brixton enablers, for real, just all enablers. And I say that in the broadest and most general terms. All enablers, absolutely disgusting. And I'm just fed up of it, to be fair. I could think of way more things that I'd like to be doing with my time on a Friday night than sitting here having to highlight these things in the community. The pain of it, the energy that it leaves you with afterwards. No one chooses this. No woman chooses to come on this platform and speak these things about herself so that she can be shamed and vilified and backlash by this unfeeling, incompassionate community that we belong to. Nobody chooses that. Nobody chooses to sit here and have death threats sent at them by this nasty, incompassionate community that we belong to. You know, largely female, because actually the man, them ain't really saying much. They're guilty by omission. They're guilty through silence. They're complicit through silence. But the women, the enabling women, you dirty Jezebels, that's what you people are, Jezebels, because you haven't even tried to say, take a step back. Vroom, straight in there. You know, vilifying the sisters, trying to get dirt on them, trying to tell you who you think it is that's called it. You will never know. Not until it comes to court. I will never reveal my sources, not until it comes to court. And I've told the police this time and time again. They think they're smart. You people think you're smart. The amount of people over the last week, actually, I've had a few people over the last couple of weeks trying to pose as different things. I had one woman who said she was a solicitor and she wanted my details, direct details. I'm saying, who's this woman? Please DM me, email me. None of them email. None of them email on the back of that. Email the campaign email, you know, trying to get my personal email so that they can try to hack my IP address. Email me on the campaign email. That's why I set it up. And you won't find any personal information of mine on there that you can hack. It's just a joke. It's an absolute joke. All complicit. All complicit. And you know, we're joining the dots. I'm gonna actually put up a massive chart, you know, when you run the kind of connections through it and with bits of wool and whatever. I might do that for fun, actually, but I've definitely got it in my notes. Mad connections, absolutely mad connections between RAT, between the care homes, between the Cadoggans, mad connections. And when we're ready, we're good and ready, we will turn that over to the police. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. And as I said, some people have been to the police already in the past, historically. And as usual, Brixton police let it fall by the wayside. I spoke to someone earlier who was saying, well, you know, it wasn't in Brixton, but if I get mugged in Richmond, I'm within my rights to go and report that in Ladbroke Grove if I want to. It's all the Metropolitan Police. So let me just get that right for starters. That's what it is. But yes, my brothers and sisters, I'm going to do this quick. I want to see some of you in the chats. People had a lot to say on the DMs today on Instagram. Come in and have a chat about it. You know, let's have a civil conversation. It's all good. It's all good. So I'm putting up the link. There it is. For anybody that wants to jump on and chop this up, please do that. Please do that. I don't know why my thing's so small tonight. Deep-rooted evilness. Elaine Summers says, deep-rooted evilness going through the generation that needs to be stamped out. Ain't that the truth? Beloved, ain't that the truth? Just shame on the enablers. I'm actually sick. I'm actually becoming more sick of these enablers than I am of the perpetrators themselves. I'm actually getting very, very fed up of it. You know, how do you know this person did not do it? They did it in secret. What is it about that you people can't understand? Oh, well, I know them. He's a lovely guy. Oh, yeah, that's what sociopaths do. In fact, they ingratiate themselves. They make sure that you believe they're a lovely guy until they switch and do what they've got to do. It's not multiple personality disorder. That's a different diagnosis. That's actually deeper. It's a deeper pathology. But lots of people operate and have a double life. Double life is not a split personality. It's a double life. You know, when people have devious and deviant penchants, they tend to keep it secret. How many married men have been into bondage or whatever with their prostitute for 14, 15 years and the wife never knew anything about it because they were an upstanding member of the church, for instance? Do me a favor and stop defending what you don't know. Take a step back. That's it. Wait for the evidence if that's what you need to do. You don't have to believe it, but stop defending it. That's all I have to say. It's just ridiculous. Really, really is. There's the link, my brothers and sisters, up on the banner. That's why I look a bit small tonight. There we go. Oh dear, what's going on there? Yeah, there we go. Lovely jubbly. So yes, there's the link. If no one wants to come on, that's the presentation for tonight, and as usual, we'll kick off. But you know, I'm lost for words now. I'm lost for words. And whoever you are, Kerwin, Tony's mate, you would remember that incident. You know what's what. You were there. You know, where's your sense of social responsibility? Where's your conscience? You were there when he strangled that boy, a vulnerable person that had been put in his care because they were already vulnerable. All of these children were vulnerable. Beating up the children. You know, if little girls got feisty to him, he would hit them. And you know, I've worked with okay, let's see who this is. Jean or Jean? Jean. Can you hear me? I think you have to unmute your mic, sis. Can you unmute your mic? Can't hear you. I can see you, but I can't hear you. Unmute. You're going to have to try and unmute your mic. You're definitely muted. I can see that you're muted. Let me see if I can unmute you myself. Let's have a look. I actually can't unmute you myself. So you're going to have to unmute yourself so that we can hear you. Still can't hear you. Oh, maybe I can hear you now. It looks like your mic's on. Hello? No, you've just muted again. You were unmuted just now, I think. Oh, no, you weren't. Now you're unmuted. Oh, I don't know what's happened there. That's weird. Try again, Jean Gray. I think it's your connection. You look like you're kind of fading in and out. Or maybe your battery's going. Try again. She's saying coming through tonight. Well, let's see if she does. She's still on at the moment. Can you guys see her? I know I can. As I say, we're not gonna We're not going. She was in the comments earlier. Okay, no worries. We are not. I'm not paying too much attention to the comments. That's the job of the moderators right now. Sometimes I catch the odd one, and I tend to put it on the screen or whatever. But it's not always easy to keep up with the comments and also still make the presentation. Blessed love, my sister from New Jersey, Kim Sam Ram. Bless up, my sister. Love as always. Okay, so Jean Gray, please come back on if you can. You need to find out how to mute your mic. That would be amazing. Please do that. But yes, my brothers and sisters, I'm not going to spend too much time on it if nobody else wants to come in and talk about it. You guys seem to be comments people. We do get people coming on. In fact, we used to get more people coming on Instagram. Do you guys remember? I don't know what it is about YouTube that people are kind of shy of and want to stay more in the comments. I've just posted the link again. Please come on. Where do we go from here, my brothers and sisters? You know, we're going to get to a point as well where I think I did speak a few lives back. I can't remember how long ago, but a few lives back, I did speak about doing an alternative night, like maybe Monday or Thursday or something, that would be more kind of looking at solutions and looking at wider issues within the community as well. You guys were really, really for that. So once I get to sort of chop out some time in my schedule, it'll probably be once I go back to Africa that will happen, because I'll have a lot more time on my hands over there that I'll be able to kind of do that. And that's coming up. That's coming up. Won't say no more than that. But yeah, jump on. Jean Gray, if you want to come back, that would be amazing. I'm going to keep posting the link. I don't know what it was. I just think sister just didn't know how to. That's why I love Desiree Carby, you know. Desiree. Sister says, vulnerable ones are their targets, as ain't none of them picking on no black belt trained woman protected fully by her father and brothers. It's actually a sign of your weakness picking on them. 100%. Doppy know who to frighten, my sister. Okay, Jean Gray, hopefully she can get on now. Hello? Blessed love,
can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you now. Blessed love. How are you?
Good evening, good evening. I'm fine, thank you.
Good evening.
Yeah, so basically, I'm a friend of Tony Clark's family.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout the day, not only have I sat and watched these allegations, but I've also witnessed the conversations between himself, the solicitors, the allegations from the past that were dropped. You said Brixton police, they dropped the allegations because there was nothing to hold it. Secondly, or thirdly, should I say, I've also, and I'm not going to call names, just like you said, when the time comes, all shall be revealed. But I've also sat and witnessed that
you're breaking up,
included your input in certain situations, your relationship with Tony Clark, your relationship with a few of his own friends that, number one, are included in this situation, and number two, actually came to you, reached out to you.
Oh, that's bizarre. I'd love you to come back on. My relationship with Tony Clark. Please come back on, Jean Gray, because I've never heard of this man in my entire life. I'm not from Brixton. If you guys didn't know already, a lot of people do. I didn't grow up in Brixton. I'm not from Brixton. I don't know this man from Adam. The only person that I would have had a loose knowledge of within all of this was Cecil Rubin, who I know quite well, and Vincent Rat, who everybody knows, and I'd come across several times. That's it. I don't know any of the others. I've heard of Peter Bailey. I've heard of a couple of other people. Okay, here's sister. Yeah, continue saying what you were saying, sis.
Yeah, I'm sorry, one sec. Yeah, also conversations had in regards to your name.
Sorry. Can we just backtrack a little bit? Because I want to make sure that I heard you correctly.
And
you said that you'd
you know,
observed... Sorry?
This is all malicious. This is all malicious. And I've not I'm not in the. I'm fine. Thank you, I'm fine. I'm not at liberty.
You've got a really bad connection
You.
tonight.
Excuse me.
You've got a very bad connection. You keep chipping in and out. Hello?
Yeah, I've observed several conversations in regards to legal standpoints, court proceedings that you're already in regards to money and finance, allegations made in.
I wish this sister had a stable connection, you know. I really, really, really wish she had a stable connection. Like, what is going on with that? She's observed conversations. Good for you, but I don't know what you're talking about. What is this now? Come, sis, get on a better connection, Jean. See if she stabilizes. Wow. Hey. Yes. I'm supposed to have known. What was it again? Oh yeah, sorry. Me, LB, and Eamon Edwards, baby mother, bangers. We all knew each other before as well, and apparently had a massive conspiracy to bring this man down. Never met these people in their lives. What people need to do is go and check my socials, see if I have any connections to these people prior to them reaching out to me. Don't know this man from Adam. Come back on, sis. Come back on. I'd love to chop it up. You mentioned a connection between me and Tony Clark. I don't know this man. You mentioned individuals that I know. I don't know these people that have reached out to me. I have a public platform. It's called Instagram. Yeah, sis, I need to respond. I don't know if you've heard what I was saying while you were off.
Hello?
Yeah, I don't know if you heard what I was saying while you were off, but I need to respond to a couple of things. You mentioned that before you go on, I will allow you to go on, but I just need to respond to a few things or backtrack. You mentioned that you'd been party to conversations about my relationship with Tony Clark. Is that correct? That you said that? Okay. Sis, if you can't get to a stable connection, then I'm going to have to let the next person come on, if there is a next person. Excuse me, because it's a little bit unstable tonight, sis. There's a StreamYard link again. I'm not sure why your connection is freezing like that. It's freezing, isn't it? Yeah. Try get to a... Take the sister off, otherwise she won't. She's still there, actually, so I might as well keep her on. Try and get to a more stable connection, sis, if you can hear me. I don't know if you can. Crazy. Oh, is that like a mobile double D? I'm not quite sure how it all works. Yeah, just foolishness. They're just chatting rubbish. I don't know who this person is. She says she's a good friend. She looks very young to be even remembering any of this. I have no idea. No idea. Everybody. You know what's really intriguing about all of this, though, is how are so many names coming up out of this one area, and so many women connected to be calling out these different guys, because they all deny it. Every single last one of them deny it. Every one of them say it's malicious. Every single one of them say these women are colluding and lying. So how is this possible? If you're a statistician or somebody that explores the laws of averages, you know, I'd love to see somebody do some deep research on that kind of phenomena, because I fail to see how this can be, you know, fail to see it. Exactly, too young, too young. Not unless she's, you know, black don't crack, guys. So she might be older. I'd like her to come back on so I can inquire as to that, but she does look quite young, and too young to even have a full grasp and knowledge of these things, because it was a long time ago. Like many of the stuff with the care homes was a long time ago. Please come on, sister. She's not going to come on? All right, you might lose your chance quite soon. Or if anybody else is going to come on, jump on, give us your view. Someone who's got a more stable internet connection, please do that. Otherwise, we're wrapping up for tonight. We're nearly at the top of the hour. Every time I say that, actually, Somebody jumps on and then we end up doing another hour and a half or something. So let's see if that happens tonight. But I'd love to have an early night, actually. Love to. I just think it's an interesting phenomena. How is it that we've got from over a year ago consistently all these names being called out? Let's put the other guys aside for one moment. And there's actually more being called outside of Brixton over the whole year than there has been in Brixton. But people only really remember the Brixton people. Over a whole year, all these different men of historical note being called out by separate individuals, more than one at any given time, who appear to not know each other. Why are they doing it? None of you are famous. None of you are millionaires or billionaires. What is the gain for these women to put their business out in the public domain like this, especially those that have come on? We saw that with Saloy, didn't we? Saloy Roberts. Sister came on and bared her soul. There was nothing favorable to her about what she shared with us. And she went in, she went deep. She talked about how dysfunctional and how pre-sexualized and promiscuous her abuse had made her. No one's going to admit to those things in detail, chronological detail, unless it's true, in my opinion. Yeah. So carry on. And she said something about being privy to conversations with solicitors or whatever. Like I said, like I've been saying, prove that it is not defamation. And I will state why I think that, prove that it is defamation. And I will state why I feel that it's not defamation and that it's actually true. Defamation is a very difficult, complex side of the law, because you really do have to prove that it's not, and the person who's the respondent, if you like, will have to prove that it is. Sorry, the other way around. I'm getting it all mixed up. Friday night, very late. It was kind of microwave elocution or microwave articulateness. With regards to Howard Dwyer, what's going on there? There's a lot going on there, but at the end of the day, this individual is where they need to be. So I think less said about them, to be fair. Less said about them for the time being. Let's just call it that. As we say, we did our thing last week. We shouted it out, and we're expecting others to come forward. And that's all I'm going to say about that one. But yeah, I don't know if Sister's given up. People ring up and try to throw spanner in the works with absolute fallacy. They accuse me of telling lies. Oh dear. Gabriel Rose. I don't know who Gabriel Rose is. Not got one of them in our family. Got lots of Roses, but not a Gabriel. Whoever you are, definitely not a Gabriel. You can look at my family tree if you want. I think you can do that right these days, can't you? Someone says, I bet she was. Oh, here we are. Brilliant. Please let it be more stable. This is the last one, sis. That looks better. That looks way better. Yeah. Sorry, sis. Let's take it back to where we left off. Yeah, that's way better, that connection, by the way. Let's take it back to where we left off. You said that you've been privy to conversations about my relationship with Tony Clark. Can you elaborate on that, please?
I can elaborate as much as I've been given liberty to, but again...
Can you just do that for me? Because that is ridiculous. So I'd like to know why it is you've arrived at that conclusion.
Because the man has woken up out of his bed this morning to allegations after having certain conversations whenever they were had. And now it's almost like, because of whatever those conversations were, all of this malice, all of these so-called allegations, including yourself. I've asked you several times in the live chat. I've mentioned the name. I'm not going to say it on the live, but I've asked you, who is this person? You guys, however long you've known each other, however you known each other, you have your circles, right? Whatever you guys do within your circles, you lot are big peoples, right? I'm 32. Don't let this work uniform fool you, okay? I'm not here to be disrespectful. I'm not here to take away from any male or female of any capacity at any time that's been through something. But this man, I've known him for a very long time. I also know him as an honorary uncle. There's many people in that not DMs, the Instagram post earlier today, aside from his daughter, his family members, myself. Yeah, we know Tony. We're from Streatham. We was, lived on that. Whatever it is, everybody's given their person. He's not that way inclined. You spoke on him smoking weed, doing drugs. Anybody that knows Tony Clark knows he doesn't smoke. And if he smokes, it's smoking cigarettes. Second of all, he doesn't drink further than any Englishman of his age drinks. Third of all, you made another allegation of kids in the foster home, running around by themselves.
Sorry to cut you, sis. When we speak, can you say the allegations? Because the allegations aren't mine. We've got to be very clear about that. I'm just highlighting them. I am the messenger. I haven't made any allegations about this man who I do not know.
My phone dead.
That's probably what the problem was. I think your battery was going, sis. You're gone actually. Ah, bless her. She's around the same age as my oldest daughter. I mean, my goodness. She doesn't know this man to do what he's doing. I mean, I get that, but at the end of the day, are we back? You back, sis? No, your battery's gone, my sister. Sorry about that. Yes. I'd rather hear from big people, to be fair. I'd rather not hear from the youths, really, from the youngers, because they have no idea whatsoever. And to suggest that I've just spoken to this one person, I haven't actually looked too much into the comments. I've seen that there's loads. And I think I went in quite earlier on today and made a couple of responses. But after that, I think that's when it was at about 30 something or whatever. After that, I looked back and I thought, oh my God, there's like 200 comments. I haven't got time for that. Do that later or over the next week or something. But I really haven't got time for the comments at the moment. And I think people are making up their own kind of ideas in the comments and putting in their own 10 cents. No, focus on what I'm saying. And what I've said is what I've said in the first part of this presentation. That is that we have been contacted by several people. I had a conversation with another friend earlier on. Granted, she was an older woman. And I listened to her. We had an exchange. It was civil. It was cordial. And nothing wrong with it. She had her perspective. I had mine. But I'd say to Jean what I said to her, and that is step back and reserve judgment. You weren't there. I'd say that to you even more, Jean Gray, because if that's your name. I'd say that to you even more because of your age, because you are so young. You plugged in?
My phone died.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I want you to finish saying what you're saying before I continue to say what I'm saying, actually.
Basically, as I said, I didn't come here to disrespect anybody. At the ending of the day, the allegations that have been made are very serious allegations. Whether they drop and fall now or they drop and fall in a few months, people's lives, integrities, their relationship with their kids. If you're going to say something, check your facts before you speak. Same thing you said, Brixton, certain allegations were made and they dropped the ball, probably because once they checked the facts, there was no strength to it. At the end of the day, I don't know what it is. Well, I know what it is from what I've been told, but there's 3, 4, 5 sides to a story, and then there's the truth, depending on how many people are involved. For me, from your standpoint, you have a lot to say, but you have no receipts. You have not backed it up. And from what I've heard, you are more involved in this situation than you're letting your fans or whoever they are know. Nobody is perfect at the ending of the day, right? Like I said, anybody that's been through something, I'm not trying to take from them.
I don't know where this sister lives, but the connection in the area is not good. Unless it's the battery, actually. You might have to just charge up, sis, but I don't know if I can wait around. Look, yeah, it's a perspective. What can I say? I kind of want to say all this to the sister, but she keeps chipping out. And I'm trying to give her due, her due time, because she has come very respectfully. And there's nothing wrong with an alternative opinion. I mean, it's a valuable opinion. It comes from somebody who knows them. Apparently, I'm more involved with these. I'm so sick of hearing this. Yeah, go ahead, sis. Hopefully, we can get through this. Yeah.
You know what it is? I apologize, obviously, to everyone. I've literally just got home from work and my phone is struggling to leave 1%. But yeah, I'm happy to kind of shut my mouth there, because I want to give you the opportunity to hear you out before the phone cuts out again.
Okay. So let me pick up on a couple of points. I'm telling you, on the lives of my children, okay, and my grandchildren, I have never met or heard of Tony Clark in my life. And most of the individuals that I've called out, I've never heard of them. On the lives of my children. My children's godmother is in this chat right now, and she knows about me and my children and what they are. Any mother. No mother swears on the lives of their children and their grandchildren. May God strike them down dead here tonight if I've ever met Tony Clark in my entire life. Never. I was contacted. That's what people need to understand as well. Do you understand me? Something else that you said as well. It's gone out of my head now. Forgive my menopause brain. You're a lot young. You're around the age of my oldest child, actually. But something else you said I wanted to pick up on. Yeah, you said something about me being involved in some kind of legal proceedings in court and whatever. First I've heard of it. You see, what you need to understand, sister, is what you need to understand.
But continue.
Sorry, yeah, let me pick up on that as well. When you say I haven't had shown the receipts, what do you quantify as receipts?
So, for example, you claim you've been contacted by people in regards to this matter. Obviously, in regards to privacy, you're not necessarily going to say their name or what, alias they've contacted you from, but that's all you've said. And then to kind of take that further, you haven't spoken on any further research you've done. To me, it sounds like, if this is true, somebody's come and said something to you, you've run with it, and I guess with the whole armor of Jesus, you just hope that it turns out to be true. Things don't work like that. And when you do things like that, you unearth things that maybe wasn't for you or is too much for you.
I'm really struggling here, sister, because when you say, all right, I hear you, you said, where's the receipts? You said, all right, you understand that victims who don't want their identities revealed have the right to anonymity. So which one is it? Well, that's what the receipt. Let me finish. Because when Joe Public, which I'm not being disrespectful, but that's how it comes to me.
That's how
how everybody is. They always want to see receipts, but the type of receipts that they want to see either breaks the anonymity of the victim or it messes with police evidence. So when you talk about, I've laid out very, very categorically from Instagram days right back to here what my methods are and my forensic investigation that I do. When we're talking about forensic, it's about a methodical way.
It's part of my actual occupation to make sure that when I'm passing information,
then you'll understand. So I've laid that out many, many times what my methods are. Many, many times. If you backtrack on videos, you'll see what they are. And as I've said before,
I never heard about you before today. I've never heard about you before today.
All right, well then go back and have a look. Please have a look.
I'll be honest. I would have, because anybody that knows me knows the platform that you seem to be on is definitely a bit of me. I'm an activist myself. I'm definitely deep rooted, not only in Black culture, but culture of the community and the people that I live amongst. For me, and even his family, Tony Clark's family member was saying this earlier today, the way you've gone about things, especially from somebody who's never heard of you before, you've taken away from your integrity. You seem to be held in such a light that you see when you speak, people believe it like that. Now, for you to then go and receive some allegations, and before you post on it, that's actually reminds me of another thing. The picture that is posted of Tony is actually his WhatsApp picture. So wherever that post came from, again, is actually somebody that knows him, which adds to what I've been saying, I've been told in regards to malicious intent. But anyway, the way
So first of all, can I just say, you're assuming it's one person and it's not. You keep talking like it's just one person that's making this allegation. It
when
really
I
is.
say we or the or what, I'm just speaking in general. I don't know, just like you don't know what I know, I don't know what you know. So I can't speak specifically to
Do you
any
know what I
term.
will say to you, sis? What I will say to you is I think it's really important for anybody that comes on and you know, sort of chops this up. Have a look at the entirety of the campaign, not just one video or one post because it affects you particularly. In order for you to really comment, it's really important to go on that journey and to
I hear
see
you,
what's
but
been
I
done.
don't
Because
think
I
it
think you'll
does.
get a wider understanding of some of the questions that you seek. You'll get better answers to them.
I definitely understand and see where you're coming from, but I disagree because, again, the only reason why I'm here now, this is the first time I've ever done a YouTube live. I don't do these
Mm,
things, right?
mm.
Sitting in the comments while I'm at work, first time I've ever done that. I know there's a person, Bula, Bola, Bola, Bula, whatever it is, seems to be quite professional at sitting down and trying to bring people out of their character, you know, drawing people. I don't do these things, but today I had time because if we're all gonna sit here and jump the gun, you know, then
Sis, I'm
we're
sorry to cut
all
you,
this
but
is
you keep
blind
saying
leading the
jump the
death.
gun. What you need to understand is this has protracted out over quite a few months. One
Right.
person,
And
then
what
two
is still
people.
standing to
Then,
this day?
sorry, can I
What
just
is
finish?
still standing
One,
to this
because
day?
I think you missed this part of it. One person makes an allegation in the DMs. I leave it. I don't even answer that person back. It's one person. Two people come. You understand? I think, okay, what's going on here then? Three people come, I'm on it. I want to speak to these three people now. I then go into a process of research. And I am not the one who does that research because I'm not a professional researcher, but I do have one. So we go into the research, we do what we have to do, and then we start to look for corroborations within that, okay? I've broken it down lots and lots of times. That's what I'm saying. For me, I don't mean to be rude, but it kind of exacerbates me because I keep having to repeat it.
No. If I feel offended, I will definitely let you
Okay.
know. And I don't.
So
I'm
that's how we
happy.
do it. That's how we do it. We then encourage that person to go to the police. Sometimes they will say, no, I don't trust them. I can't go to the police. I want you to call out a certain amount of, I want you to call these people out. And they'll tell me to call it out fully. I'll say, no, I will highlight it. I will hold back some of those facts because at some point you're going to have to go to the police, or maybe not. For some people, they've been to the police 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Nothing's ever been done. And the only
But
recourse, the only,
do you know what?
hold on, sis, let me land. The only recourse that they feel, these victims feel, is to come to me and say, I want this person exposed and we want them stopped because we want to
So
save
you're
other
telling
victims.
me
Or we
people have
sometimes
gone to
want
the
to scare
police with these
other
kind of
victims to come forward.
allegations and it's
So
not gone anywhere.
say
That's what you're
again.
saying.
What?
You're telling me, or you're explaining to whoever's here that there's been people who've gone to the police with these allegations and they've, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not here to be disrespectful.
We've got
That's
one
not what
sister
I'm doing.
here in the chat
But
right as we speak that
I
came and told
can't.
her story, and she went to the police on several occasions. She's still with them now. Nothing is being done about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm not here to disrespect. I'm not here to belittle or take away from.
With all due respect, I
But
feel you're here to defend your uncle, and that's okay. I get it.
of course, but
I
like I
get it.
said, aside from that, the work I do forces me to have an unbiased perspective of anything. And again, in answer to your question, the receipts, how are you supposed to present them? Again, that's something you it's not that difficult. You get
I
a
don't.
paragraph,
I don't think
you
it's
get a
a
paragraph.
receipt type of
Let me
situation.
land. You
Yeah.
get a paragraph, right? The name, the profile, the text message, the number, however it comes, right? Personally, whether it be what I do, police, doctors, what is essential You can highlight, you block out the rest. And for me, you can put that forward and say, look, this is what's happened. That's what's happened. This is why I'm standing in this strength for this situation. You kind of just speaking and saying, you know, this person spoke to me, that person spoke to me. I've got people who I pay to go and speak to more people to supposedly corroborate it. It sounds like Chinese whispers.
Okay,
You
it
know,
might sound like that to you, but let me just pose something to you. Has it occurred to you that if I was to give you screenshots of some of the DMs that I get, albeit that I might block out the names, that the very details of what they're telling me would reveal their identity to the perpetrator? Have you thought about that? This is an issue.
I understand what you're saying.
This is an issue. So the receipts that you see, now I would give that information to the police if those people choose to do. And some people have gone to the police. There are ongoing investigations. But at the end of the day, this is not a social media freak show. No one's going to get these screenshots. It's not entertainment.
No, it's not.
That's not what it's there for.
I'm not saying go crazy, but at the same time, how you've had people who don't know you, have never met you, don't know Tony, never met Tony, but they're in the comments of your post.
Forget them, because I don't know these people either, no more than you do.
This is why I'm saying to you, I've arrived here at the point where if there's going to be so much turmoil around this man's name, before the police even get an opportunity to say, you know what, they're right, come with something. Otherwise, it's like you're throwing stones and hiding. And
I think that it looks that way to those that don't want to hear it, actually. But what the purpose that it serves, because you haven't been on Instagram, sis.
Sorry, just let me land quickly. You could say that, sis, but the journeys I've taken in my life, to have somebody close to me and find out that they've done A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, it's not gonna put me in a headspace of my mind's gone. Like I've said, I'm not gonna disclose what I do, but I work in a field where I see a lot anyway. And this is a person who I've grown with. There's many things that happens in life on your doorstep, across the road, across the pond, and you would never expect it. When the situation comes, as an adult, you have to deal with things in a way. So whether it be deal with things in a way, touch wood, find out certain things is correct, or you get information that, especially as you say, is as delicate and important as it is, you deal with it as such. You want to say, you know, you're not going to go and say these people's names and reveal their identity, but you're definitely going to run and tell what they told you without facts. You're putting this man in a situation.
But facts according to who? Because the people I speak,
I could say the same thing to you, though. According to who? These so-called people that have been through something. How can we verify this? We can't.
First of all, yeah, I think, let me just reiterate for you what I do for a living. I'm a psychotherapist. So if somebody comes to me and discloses, I'm bound under the codes of conduct for confidentiality to keep that confidentiality unless there is a risk.
Means that you shouldn't be revealing anything at all.
Let me finish.
You shouldn't be revealing anything at all.
Unless there is a risk to the public or there is a risk to the individual. So it's not that if you check it out if you want, it's absolutely the case. So I don't have to reveal those sources. And if those people ask me to not reveal that, then I'm not going to do that. And I'm bound.
But then by you revealing the information that they have given you, you have actually caused a whole nother, what would I call it? A whole nother situation within itself. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I can't, if I had a pound, if I had a pound, sis, for every time somebody who knows the perpetrator or a member of their family or whatever came on and
I thought we were using the term allegation
for the campaign.
I thought we were using the term the allegations of.
Sorry, the allegations. Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's completely fine. That's completely fine. So, but again,
it's like this kind of rhetoric is typical. You know, there's people have got their own ideas about how you'd label that. in the
That's
comments right
fine.
now.
But what
But at
I'm
the end of the day,
trying
it's
to do
typical. I
here
don't
is
expect
make
you to
you
say anything
understand, as
else.
much as you may say to the people that are standing up for him or whatever, you are actually coming across just as bad, if you want to refer to us as bad. You don't have any verification, corroboration. You even keep referring to the police with cases in the same manner they've dropped. So for me, it's like, okay, these people, they don't want to go to the police, but they want to come to you. You're not going to say what's going on, but somebody's taken this man's photo, pasted it on social media, and cannot corroborate what they've done.
How do you know I can't corroborate it? Because I haven't
How
shown
do
you the
you
receipt.
know that what those people said is true? It is. I have another question for you.
That's for the
Said that,
police to decide if it's true or not true. This
but it's
platform,
okay.
this
But it's
platform.
okay
Let
for
me
you
just
to
start.
go and
I
report
really
it
need, sorry,
before the
sis. I
police
really need to
actually say
verify
that
this
it's
bit
true.
here. I
Because
really
that
need to
doesn't make
verify
sense.
this bit. I really need to verify this bit. I think this is what people get confused, isn't it? If
I'm
these
not
people,
confused. I'll be very honest with you. I'm very up to date and clued up. But continue.
what I was trying to say is, I think this is where people get confused about the purpose of this platform. This platform is a place for victims to speak their truth, and they are believed on this platform. That's what they are. You understand?
Regardless
So
of whether or not
that
they've
they
been
are believed on
verified
this
by the
platform,
police or
and
anything,
that
they can just come
person,
and just.
because of the
It
types of
doesn't make sense. It
because
doesn't
of the
make sense.
types
It
of
doesn't make sense. And I've
investigations that
actually
we do.
tried to hear you out. I've tried to listen to what some of the people in that little post. You don't do things like that, and you're a grown
I think
woman.
you're
You
caught
don't
up in
do
the
things
that
like
you
that.
and I are having a conversation, sis. And what I was going to say is that we believe victims here once those people are called out, because there's a process before they are called out. There's a
But
process.
you
There's a
bypass that
process.
process, though.
There's a
You
process.
bypass
You
that
keep cutting
process.
me, I do allow you to speak, but
You
you keep
bypassed
talking
your
over me.
own process, hon. That's
I have
what
not
you
bypassed
did.
my own process. I
Because
have not done that.
you yourself said, and I quote, the information that is given to you, it either goes to the police or it stays with you. If it goes to the police, in which you're saying some of these allegations have done, they will investigate it and corroborate it. You haven't allowed them to do that. What has actually happened is, while it's being investigated, his face, his name, a part of his child's head, which is a whole nother security breach and data breach, has been
Sorry,
posted
I'm
on
sorry. You're the one who's just
an
revealed
open
that.
social
You're the
media
one who's just
platform.
revealed that,
That
actually, because I
is
had
a
no
breach
idea who
of
that other person.
privacy and security. That is not how
Yes.
you do things.
Listen, that's your perspective. You're very entitled to it.
I'll be
Okay.
honest with you. I could
I've
literally
kind of said,
read
I've kind of
right
laid
now.
it.
I could literally read right now the letter from his solicitor, word for word, that has been written to you and told, basically spelled out to you, stop
I
speaking
haven't
on his
received
name.
anything from the solicitor.
Okay, well, maybe I've shot the gun then, but you will do. You need to stop
Okay.
speaking on his name, because nothing you have to date has been corroborated by any legal
I'll tell you one
standpoint.
thing. Whether there's a solicitor involved or not, I'd have to tell you to join the queue on that one, actually. That's all I've
Listen,
got
we've
to
got
say.
time, we've got money, we've got
Defamation
time,
has
and
to
when
be
we know he's
proved.
not done anything wrong, we can let it
Defamation
take
has to
and
be
do what it
proved.
needs to do.
You see, when you
It's
bring a
not an issue.
defamation case, yeah, as I said before, when you were clicking in and out, if you bring a defamation case, okay, anybody brings a
You have
defamation
to
case.
do this, you
If
have to, I
anybody
heard you.
brings a
I heard
defamation
you.
case, they have to prove that that is defamation, and
I
then I
heard
have
you.
to prove that it is not defamation. I can't
Exactly.
wait for that to happen. So bring it on. I've got
Exactly.
somebody else called Tanya that wants to speak, sis. Thank you so much for your time. You're entitled to your perspective. We've got ours.
And I hope the rest of the people that have been watching and following this post actually allow themselves the opportunity to hear both sides or be unbiased and keep their mouth shut.
But sis, you haven't really presented anything as such. You've
There's
just presented
nothing
your
to
opinion.
present.
That's not both sides.
I came here to show you that the same thing you're basically saying, these people are standing up for this man and they wasn't there. You wasn't there either.
No,
The
of course
police
I
have
wasn't.
not. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Otherwise, like you said, I still won't have completed what I came here to do. The police cannot even stand behind you right now and say anything because they have not corroborated it. So again, you're actually in a whole land of limbo on your own right now.
Is it up to me to bring it to the police? It's not my case.
No, you already said that some of the allegations have been brought and they haven't been confirmed yet.
No,
You've
I said
actually
I was
not.
talking. I was talking. You asked me about my methods, and I was giving you a generalization of all the cases we deal with. I wasn't talking about this specific case. I've already laid out how that came to me. I've already laid out that they're allegations. I've already laid out that I've encouraged people to go to the police. It's early days. Let them do that. But at the end of the day, we've presented that. And what I will assert and keep reiterating is that on this platform, victims are believed and perpetrators are guilty until proven innocent. On this platform, it's got nothing to do with the law. On this platform.
It's got
So
nothing
with
to do
that,
with the law.
sister,
But
I'm
the
gonna
world,
bring the next
the rest
person
of the
on.
world.
We could go on all night with that one, and everyone in the chats is barling to get this person off so the next person can come on. But yeah, interesting perspective. I mean, how many times have we been here, family? Tanya, can you come back on, please? You were going to have a say. I don't want to keep. Sorry, Jean, I didn't mean to be facetious, but time is going, and there was somebody else wanting to speak, but they sort of took themselves off. So I'll put the link in one more time if Tanya wants to come back on. You were waiting for a bit, Tanya. Let's put you back on. But yeah, I mean, look, sister's got a perspective and she's entitled to it, right? What people need to understand, what you need to understand, Jean, is that evidence has been presented to me that leads me to believe it. And I've created a platform for whoever wants that to be outed or to come on and speak or whatever they need, a safe space for them to speak. That's all this is about. Anything else, let it go to the police. I've said that they're alleged. There is no defamation going on. It's an allegation. That's what it is. But I believe it. I'm allowed to say that I believe it. I haven't said it's true. I haven't said it's not true. I've said that I believe it. Now, it's only a court of law that can decide if it's true or if it's not true. Double D, you're not easy. Double D, you're so Jamaican, honestly. All right, Clark T's not related. Well done, Clark T. Tanya, come back on, whoever you were. I can't remember the actual name. Tanya somebody. Yeah, it was Tanya Gray, I think. Tanya Gray was coming on. Can you come back on for me, my sister? We've got the link flashing at the bottom of the screen. And okay, I like this one. Everyone knew about Vassal House and the fuckeries that was going on in there back in the day. Lots of kids. Oops, where have we gone? Where's it gone? Yeah. Oh gosh, I've lost you. You guys can see what that says. I hate when I lose the comment because then yep, there we are. A lot of kids came out worse than before they went in there. There you go. And so many different testimonies like that. Who are all these people? Who's got time to sit down and make 100 fake different profiles saying and corroborating what we're saying? Nobody's got time for that, you know. Or maybe they have. Maybe there's a psychopath out there, kind of social media psychopath that just enjoys doing these things, and it's all one person, which is what you know, young sister Jean is trying to assert, that it's just an individual or a group of individuals that have corroborated in a conspiracy to bring down her uncle. I mean, that's really convenient. It's a little bit like what cognitive dissonance looks like, sister. So it doesn't matter how much receipts I give you. If you're suffering from cognitive dissonance, then you're probably never going to hear them, are you? And that's kind of the way it is. But yeah, it'd be great to have Tanya come back on. I should have added her to the stream. But I didn't want too much kind of cross voices. I've tried that before. And that just ends up in chaos. It's better to have a one-to-one. One more time for the link, people. And I will bring this to a close. We've got the link there. Yep, there we are. Tanya, come back on. I'd love to talk to you. Yeah. Look, another Gray. Yeah, I hope it is one of the Grays, actually. It could be any Gray. But Tanya Gray, if you can come back on, that'd be brilliant. But look, yeah, I mean, look, I'm not, you know, the sister presented herself very respectfully. I don't think anybody should drag her or anything. It is what it is. She's the man's niece. She's going to say what she's saying. She's a lot better than Cadogan's granddaughter or whoever it was on Instagram who called me a black bitch. But you know, I don't mind having a conversation with someone who disagrees. We can chop that up. It's just not a problem. When I rip someone a new ass, it's because they come feisty and disrespectful, especially if they are disrespectful to the victims and the survivors that are on this page. You know, that's it. So yeah, Lady King, come on. Someone says no cognitive dissonance around here. Come on and tell me why, Lady King. Or is Lady King the same person? I don't know. I love Desiree's gems. Family members, stop frigging defending these predators. It doesn't matter if it is blood. It is a blood relative. It doesn't take away the fact an evil deed was done. Ah, Tanya's back. Lovely. Okay. I hope she gets on. Oh, no, Tanya. Oh, yes. Brilliant. Can you unmute for me? Gone again, sis. Just brought you on. You're gone again. I don't know who that is. If it's one of those trolls that usually comes on and comes off, then we don't have time for that tonight, my people. It is what it is, you know. I believe it. I believe it unequivocally, actually. That doesn't suit the family members. It doesn't suit young Jean. That's fair enough. But these receipts that she asked for is for the eyes of the police. It's not for the eyes of you or the public. And it is not my case to bring to the police. If I encourage someone to go to the police and they don't feel able to, that's not on me. That's on the victim at the end of the day. You won't be getting screenshots because it's, I know this is social media and everything, but isn't that a bit adolescence with these screenshots and people going through? I mean, this is usually kind of, when you're talking about rappers and stupidness like that, that's not what this is. That's not what this is. And long after names are called out, we still work with those victims that have spoken to us to get them to the stage of the police. Very soon, you're all going to see something that actually you might call receipts, because it seems, you know what makes me laugh about our community? There's this big wall of black silence in the community where when somebody stabs up somebody's pick-me, nobody's talking. Nobody wants to say anything. Yeah. Nobody wants to talk to the police about anything. Oh, no, not the police, not the police. Yeah. We do not talk to the police. It's even in Ministry of Justice reports that black people do not talk to the police and that there is a wall of silence in the black community, as they call it. But when it comes on to these pedophile cases, these historic sexual abuse cases, all of a sudden, everybody trusts the police, asking me what that is about. I just find that highly dubious. All of a sudden, you people want me to go to the police, but you don't want to talk to the police when people are stabbing up people's picnic. I don't have time for it. I really, really don't. And I'm not prepared to be articulate about it either. It's a bag of bloody foolishness that goes on in our community. Yep, so many unconvicted perpetrators from the past because the police failed them and they did not trust the police, especially in the black community. And they let it slide because actually the victims were also young black girls. They didn't care. Lambeth didn't care. Brixton police didn't care. They just didn't care. All over the country, they did not care. You know, LB, bear witness. You went to the police. Did they even listen to you? You've gone to the police again. Aren't they not dragging their feet? We heard from Sister Donna with Tony Buttons. Her family went to the police time and time again. This woman was kidnapped off the roads by a man when she was a child, taken into brothels as a child. The family reported that to Peckham police, Brixton police. Oh no, 30, 40 years later, nothing has been done. That woman should not have to sit with that pain and not have any recourse to some kind of closure and justice, even if it's in this form. Yeah. So when people come and contact me, it's usually on that premise. And that's what I was trying to say. Some have gone to the police, some haven't. Some historically went to the police, some didn't. Some were too scared. Like when we look in the case of Vincent Rapp, I mean, the man is an absolute psychopath. You know, when he was having a holiday from raping women and raping children, he was busy maiming our brothers in the community and murdering them. He's an absolute psychopath. He had the whole Brixton community under a stranglehold. You know, he used to go into parties even, bad up the sound man them and make them play only the music he wanted to hear for the whole night while everybody tried to hide their gold. What kind of, who's going to speak out against that man in such an insular little ward like Brixton? Not going to happen. Hasn't happened. All that's happened is I called out Vincent Rapp. It scratched the surface of the boil that was desperate to come out. And all you see now is all the pus seeping out into the community. That is not my fault. I'm glad it's happened, because without that, we cannot have healing. So I'm glad it's happened. But at the end of the day, as I say, I'm not choosing to do this. You know, I'm not getting paid for this. There is no motivation or motive for me to sit here doing what I do. This girl's sitting around listening to her elders. And I don't blame you, Jean, because, you know, you're a young girl and you can only take from what, like you said, you've heard. And you've heard this from your elders, your uncle, who I believe is probably desperate right now to cover his tracks. He's been fretting about this for a very long time, allegedly. Fretting about it. You know, anytime one of my videos comes out, he doesn't talk about anything but to certain people in certain circles, allegedly. Why would you be fretting to that degree if that's the case, if that's true? Why would you be fretting to those degrees? Look, anyone who comes on this platform is believed as a victim. And we say, bun out all the dirty pedophiles and perpetrators. You're all disgusting. I just find it very interesting that these allegations have come out and this person is also connected in one way or another to the Cadogan empire of the Cadogan family. Used to hang out with the son, allegedly, one of the sons. So I just find it really interesting how every one of them that we call out, everyone that wants to jump up and down and say it's not true and their family members come on to defend them, where are they? Where's Mr. Clark himself? Let me ask him a few questions, salient questions. Why doesn't he contact me himself? He wants to, apparently I'm getting some, well, you know, find out where I live, because I'm sure you don't. And I actually live in Africa. So send your solicitor's letter there when I'm out of jurisdiction. Do me a favor. Idiot thing. You know the amount of allegations I've had about that? Really? Letters and whatever and whatnot. Send it to me. Send it to me. Yeah, I've got them on email. Sometimes they get through to the email. I haven't had any from these people's representatives. So like all the others, I will simply ignore it because I'd like you to bring a case. I'd love that, actually. So it's not a deterrent. And once we've called it out and we do get more people, because I believe we will, anybody that was in Vassal House, Baldry Gardens or Brixton Hill, Elm Park, under the care of Tony Clark, it is alleged that he was abusive, be that physically, emotionally, or sexually. Please come forward. DM me at AfroRose69. We would like a cohort before it is brought to the police. I think that's always a bigger cohort, I should say, before it's brought to the police, because then we can guarantee more of a conviction. When it comes onto historic sexual abuse cases, we need a big cohort to make it stick. Unless you've got things like distinguishing marks on his penis, or a child is born out of these activities. These are the things that are real clinchers, obviously, because then you can get material evidence. You can actually get that. Other than that, the bigger the cohort, the more chance that these women will be believed. And unfortunately, that's the way that the British criminal justice system works. That's the way it works, unfortunately. You know, it's not what was I going to say? Actually, I think I was going to say it's not Islam where you have to have 3 separate witnesses or something stupid like that. It's corroboration between individuals. How many people did you tell? Did you tell a childhood friend along the way? You know, these are the types of things that need to happen in order to clinch these convictions, and they are coming. What people need to understand is this: the only current allegation is that of Peter Bailey. That's current. That happened in July. And then from July till now, we've still not seen much progress on the case. So imagine how long it takes to get historic sexual abuse cases to court singularly, much less when there is a cohort of people. Jeffrey Epstein's victims first started reporting in 2009, I believe, or even 2006. But yet it's taken us all this time to get to conviction, and that's still ongoing. You know, same with Jimmy Savile. Years it could be. So that's not down to me. At the very least, it takes probably 18 months to 2 years on a normal day to get some of these individual things to court. On a normal day, we've had COVID, the nature of the cases, and so on and so forth. So people need to know what they're talking about. before they talk about it, really. I've been doing what I've been doing for 30 years, and I don't just mean the activism part of things. I'm talking about the work that I do in prisons, in the courts, with the police, on the roads, you know, with clients one-to-one. Vast amount of experience, and I do know what I'm doing. So the reason that I've stood here for nearly 15 months with every single thing leveled at me, from being a liar to being a fantasist to defamation of character, threats and actions, actually. Well, I haven't actually been brought to court for defamation of character, but there's definitely been threatened quite a few times. There's a reason that all my videos are still up on Instagram. All my videos are still up on YouTube. There's just a reason, because there's a lot more to it than meets the eye in terms of the weight of evidence. And I don't have to share that here. Certainly not sharing that here when I'm bound by confidentiality. Until that person gives me a consent to release, there's certain things you guys will never know unless it comes to court. And when it comes to court, then it will be in the public domain. You can sit in the public gallery and you can view the case for yourselves. But apart from that, we've been here 14 months. 14 months. And it isn't a full 14 months for each case. The only one that's 14 months long is Rap. And we know that's going to take some time. This man was prolific in the community, reported to have over 80 children. God knows how many victims he's raped in his time. But we've got a good few on our score, enough to take it forward now. And we're always looking for more. So again, if you've been affected by anything that's been discussed tonight, if you were an alleged victim of Tony Clark in the Vassal House Children's Home back in the day, please DM me at Afua69 on Instagram. If you were a victim of Amons Edwards, if you were a victim of Vincent Rapp, definitely DM me. Okay, we can never have enough to take this forward. I'd love every single one of them to jump on board. Yeah, that's a good point, my sister. It says, Afua, please let all the survivors who are under Lambeth Social Services need to apply for redress scheme. Yeah, it's running out, actually. Isn't it on Sunday, I think? It's not promoted well by Lambeth. Unfortunately, my sister, a lot of the care homes that took Black children were run by Black people, and they were seen, they weren't the only private care homes, but those ones were seen as private care homes. And so many of the victims that I talk about come from that system and weren't in the wider Lambeth care homes. And that's how Lambeth have been able to separate the wheat from the chaff. But I believe it's because the reason that Lambeth has done that is because when it comes on to Shirley Oates and some of the more public homes, that scandal's out there. Shirley Oates was running from the 1930s up to the 1990s. Long, long time. That's already out there. The flip side of that, when you're looking at the private care homes where Lambeth placed vulnerable children, that's a whole different can of worms, which is what we talk about. And Lambeth doesn't want to talk about that. That's what we believe. Yep. Senior managers, staff, they were set up as boarding schools and what have you. Absolutely. Shez Tony. Shez Tony is my name. Blessed love. Hello? Shez Tony? Hello? You're live? Okay, not happening. Okay, I don't know what Shez Tony's saying. Try come back on, Shez Tony. All about the black is Shez Tony behaving themselves in the chats. I'm not sure. I sense a bit of confrontation. I'm not quite sure. Give me a 1 if they're cool. I mean, I'll bring them on anyway, but just let me know. It's at T Clark. I don't understand. Moderator, tell me, Shez Tony, have you noticed them? Or Shez Tony, can you come back on, please? You were just live and then you jumped straight back off. So I don't know what's happening with that. I'm not staying on for much longer. I'm hungry, I'm tired. That's what's going on tonight, my brothers and sisters. I might take a break next week. Not quite sure. Let's see what it is on balance, and see how much, see what's there. It's possible. It's possible that I might do that. Yeah, I don't know where Shez somebody is. You haven't seen them in the comments, Lioness. Okay, cool. Well, they're not going to come back on. I'll post the link one more time just in case they lost it, and then I shall bid you guys good night. It's unfortunate, you know. It's unfortunate because I kind of felt I felt for Jean. I felt for the little sister there that came on. You know, she's got a perspective. She made her point quite articulately. No problems with that. But I kind of felt for her still because you just think to yourself, you're so young. It's your uncle. You clearly love him. He said that he is come on as Shez Tony. Oh, okay. Somebody called Paris now. Okay. Let's hope he... this looks a bit better.
Hi,
Hi,
evening, Afua. Can you hear me?
Blessed love, sis. Yeah, blessed love.
Hi, Afua. You know who I am, but I've had to change my name. You do know who I am, okay? Simply for the fact that,
but go on.
yes, but so basically, not only am I a survivor, but I work in the field, okay? I work in the field of like looked after children and social services, okay? And what you've been saying so far about the children's home, you are 100% accurate. Okay. So I'm just here to say that to you and to the people who are listening. I think you're doing an amazing job out there. Not only am I a professional, but I'm also a witness to a lot of the cases that you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I can't say too much. But what I would say to people is that whoever's been looked after by Lambeth Social Services or any children home, foster homes, they need to hurry up and apply for the government scheme of the Redress scheme. It hasn't been advertised very well, okay? Even though you were in the private homes, there is a case, another set of case pending, okay? So please encourage whoever to
keep that white thing over, sis. Your face is coming on if you don't want that.
Yeah, no, to come forward. So, but that's about it really. And it really pisses me off when people come on and try and stick up for all these abusers. Okay, it doesn't sit comfortable with me.
Sis, when you say you know me, I'm trying to pick up your voice, and I had a flash of your face, but it's not.
I will message you.
It's not registering, but you know me because you know me historically,
not on a personal. I don't know you. I don't know you on a personal level. I know you in relation to work. Okay.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, thank you, sister.
So, but you're doing amazing work, and you know, give it about 8-9 months. There's going to be some serious stuff coming out. All right, there's just loads of stuff going on behind the scene. Just because people haven't been arrested and things like that, it doesn't mean that these people haven't done or commit the crime. Okay. Absolutely. And you know, let's stop playing with children and vulnerable young people. Okay.
Absolutely. You know, 100%, sis. 100%. Let's stop playing with that.
Yeah, you know, I can't say too much. Yeah,
no,
I can't say too much. So I'll let you go.
Okay, sis. No, before you go though, you mentioned that you will witness to some of these things in the care homes. I wonder if that's the kind of receipt that that Jean needs. Your face, sis. Your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if that's what she means by receipts, because she said that, you know, you can't corroborate it. You've just come on and corroborated what I'm saying. Is that enough for you, Jean? That's a receipt, isn't it? It's a corroboration.
I don't think you need to even try and justify anything to her. She was either paid or she's part of the family. And it pisses me off when people come, or whoever she is, stop coming on live or this kind of platforms and talk on behalf of people. Let those people come on live and talk for themselves. And I think the minute people do that, then you're going to get a lot of the people that are survivors will come on and challenge some of these people, 100%. Right? And what you need to understand is there's a lot of us holding back, watching, observing, because not everyone feels comfortable to talk about their vulnerability. Okay?
Absolutely. And you know what else as well that they don't realize when they come with their defamation cases and their solicitors' letters and whatever? So many victims are, like you said, in the shadows, holding back, doing what, you know, the way that we're doing it. And if a case like that was ever brought against me, I've spoken to so many of them. In fact, they've volunteered. Afua, that's when we'll come out. We will come out and show our faces in force to defend you. And I'm like, brilliant. I hope that's true. But I hope that is the case.
I think that would be the case because they have nothing to lose.
No, they've got nothing to lose then, have they? Exactly. No. They'd probably be subpoenaed anyway, wouldn't they? So it would be interesting. It would be interesting. You know, let's see how brave they really are, because these people, even though I don't blame the family members necessarily, especially more the younger. I don't blame the youngers for believing what they believe. It's her uncle. She wasn't there. She was young. She probably wasn't even born when a lot of this was going on, right? But you see those that were around at the time and complicit and making these things happen. Put aside Tony Clark's alleged activities. What about his sister and his mum that was helping to run these care homes that knew that there were other improprieties going on? They can't tell me that wasn't happening.
Afua, I can't even talk to you about any of the homes.
I know.
Okay?
I know.
Let's just leave it like that. Okay? A lot went on. Okay? Yeah. In all of these so-called homes that were there to protect vulnerable young children. Okay? And as I said to you, let's not forget a high population of prisoners come from, from children homes and so on. If you look at teenage pregnancy rate, allegation, all of these people come from that particular background. And that says a lot, doesn't it, really?
100%, sis. Thank you so much, sis.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Stay strong and blessed.
You know what my head's like, my menopause brain. So DM me and then we can pick it back up. All right, sis?
Definitely. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Lovely sister. Yes, indeed. There you go. That was a receipt, right? These young people, we want the receipts. I don't know. Is that a receipt, people? Was that a receipt? Can you put up a 1 in the chat if that was a receipt? Because I think it was. It was a corroboration, wasn't it? It was a receipt. Crazy. But I'm glad that person came on and gave their perspective. We've had both sides, as Sister said earlier. Had both sides of the coin. Got one person for, one person for against. One person's a family member. One person says that they were witness to these things in care homes. Someone said Ghanaian food. It's true. We're hungry. Ghanaian food. Oh, I love you. His time is up, family. I really, really do. I want to give a big shout out to everybody that came on, that contributed. Don't give Tony Clark's niece a hard time. She's one of the babies. We're about protecting them, and hopefully she's able to see hopefully she's able to see things in a more balanced light. Let's just say that for now. Yeah. Thank you also to the sister Paris that just came on, and as always, thank you to you guys. It's actually been quite tame in the chats. I expected it to be messy. We've had some occasions where it's been very, very messy. I called in all 3 moderators today, and it actually wasn't that bad. Double D, stop. I'm not even going to read you out. You're too much. You are so Jamaican. Yep, single mothers and baby units, man. That was one of Vincent Rat's most favorite haunts, honestly. But now we know who was making money from these things, because anyone that was running a care home in those days, we've called the Clarks who were running a care home. That's a fact. Nobody could do me for defamation for that. That's a matter of public record, of which I have viewed. And the various companies. Lots of appointments on your companies, actually. That's quite interesting. Some very interesting tidbits there to be researched. I'm not sure why the Clark family has so many appointments and so many different companies, or the same officer being appointed on very different companies. Just find it all very interesting. And I'm sure that it will all come out in the balance. But yes, my brothers and sisters, thank you very much. I don't think anyone else is going to come on. Shall I put the link one more time? Maybe moderator wants to do that. Nah, it's time to go. My brothers and sisters, thank you once again. We will be back here hopefully next week. If not, I'll put out a notification and let you guys know if I'll be on next week. I kind of want to take a bit of a break. I've got some engagements that I'd like to attend next couple of Fridays and whatever. But we'll see. I'm not quite sure yet. Thank you, my loves. And I shall see you again when I see you again. Blessed love, people. Blessed love.